What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Toxic Ox, episode number 17. Absolutely insane. We got a lot to go over this week. So let's just jump straight into it. First and foremost, um, I ended up finishing my main build, the bow and daggers, but and this wasn't something that I was actually prepared to talk about, but I actually ended up switching my build to staff and bow, crazily enough, and it's actually doing a ton for me. I think I've jumped like 20, 25 placement points in terms of contribution for world bosses. It's a work in progress to say the least, so it's gonna be a little bit until we actually get top 10 with it, but I know for a certainty we will get top 10. I just literally switched to it last night as of the recording of this video. So we'll see what ends up happening. Hopefully something good. Right now we are easily in the top 20, so just a little tweaks and we'll be in the top 10, and hopefully that gets us some nice world boss drops, but we'll have to wait and see. In terms of my alt, we're uh still working on the levels and the polished crystals. But that's gonna be a little bit to go. I don't know if I want to end up farming polished crystals or just casually go about it, because I mean we are getting through it decently nice and easy, but I'm gonna have to wait and see about that. Just doing Tyrant's Isle over and over and over again is just such a pain. But there's not much we can really do in terms of that. That's the best way to go about it. However, we have the new Goblin event that's come out this week, which is extraordinarily nice. They did end up patching it last night as well. It was spawning every hour for 8 hours, but now it's spawning every 3 hours the entire day long. So people will be able to do it all day long and all that stuff. But we have gotten some decently nice drops. We're gonna have to sell some of them, but that's gonna be mainly mainly the stuff that we get from the Goblin event. We do have one thing on standby. I don't think it's dropped in price quite a bit, but um, it'll make up for a decent amount of the money that we spent on switching over to staff bow. And my hope is really with this change is just to be able to get more world boss drops and make up for the uh the loosen that we spent. So but we'll see, only time can tell with that. um but it is what it is. And apparently with the drama going on in Throne and Liberty, everyone is apparently mad at AGS in terms of whether it be fixing bugs, or I should say adding them to fix them. It's a kind of a kind of a sad thing. And in terms of not just that, but a couple other things, like seems like seems like the game is going downhill. Not for me. I still am enjoying it, but the problem I'm facing now in terms of Throne is being able to make videos on it. Just the amount of ideas that are left aren't really there. Um, Basically, the last things I have left to do are going to be build videos. So, what might end up happening is when Night Rain comes out, I actually might end up playing that. It might not be the main game. I might honestly play Tarkov for my main game, at least the PvE version. It depends how Night Rain goes. Night Rain might become my main, and then either way, something's gonna happen because I'm running out of video ideas for Throne, which is a sad thing to say, but um, sort of the end of the life cycle for that. But we'll see what ends up happening. Um, hopefully can at least make it until Night Rain. However, in terms of Tarkov, a lot of things have been happening with Tarkov. All the quests that I wanted to get done are basically done. There's nothing left that I really like would want to do. The rest are sort of just there to be there. I can end up doing it just to make the list shorter, but most of the rest of them are just annoying. Like I have a few for what's his name? Prapper, but they're more aligned with the Lightkeeper quest lines, at least the end of them. And then we have a couple for what's his face? Um Jaeger. Sorry, I blinked there for a second. Jaeger, and his are also sort of in line with the next Lightkeeper quests I can do, which are woods. Basically, the last things I have left to do are pretty much woods and streets, and don't know how I feel about it. Either way, when I was doing research on the Lightkeeper quest, basically, if I was going to do the rest of the quest, they would be aligned with Lightkeeper. The next one that I have to do is a money waster and seems like a time waster. So if I end up making PvE Tarkov my go-to, I think we'll be able to do it. But apparently, it takes a ridiculous amount of raids. You basically have to go in with a cheap kit, hope that they spawn there or that they're there, do like a couple of rotations around the map and then leave, and then just rinse and repeat that for like a lot of hours. Let's just put it that way. And well, I don't really have the time to do that with Throne, but who knows? Maybe when I get my builds together, like completely leveled, completely all that, um what we might end up doing is just trying to we probably will just not do all the quests and all the nonsense. We'll just do basically like the bare minimum for Throne and then go on to Tarkov, and who knows, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. um Also, in terms of Tarkov, I did try the Labyrinth event. Like we the last night that it was active, we got there and we were doing the quests. uh and I shouldn't say active, but like basically 100% spawn when it was the actual like event, with all the bosses and all the stuff we got there. It was actually pretty decently fun, I won't lie. I enjoyed it. And we did it a little bit after the fact where there wasn't any like event going on and the bosses weren't spawning, and it was still fun, but not that. But either way, we're at least set up for the future events. Apparently there's supposed to be some events coming out shortly within the next few months because of the full like the 1.0 Tarkov release. So we'll try our best to get that done, see those new events, and should be fun at least, until at least Night Rain. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. But in gaming news, which is crazy thing, they remade Oblivion as the remastered or whatever you want to call it, Oblivion Elder Scrolls 4, which it's a good game, but it's concerning because it lines up with the leaks for Elder Scrolls 6. And basically the leak about a month ago or something was that Oblivion was going to be remade and that it was supposed to tide us over until Elder Scrolls 6, which I'm pretty sure they said is like 2027, 2028, which is freaking ridiculous because I've been waiting for this game since what, 2011, 2012 or whatever, whenever Elder Scrolls 5 came out. It's been way too long for this nonsense. Um but I've been watching Jev play Oblivion. Looks honestly incredible. It looks better than Elder Scrolls 5, just to put it lightly, Skyrim. So I can only imagine what Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look like and what that's going to entail. So uh, at least if there's a bright side to that, the waiting, then it's going to be the fact that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an absolutely beautiful game. But we'll see what happens with that. In terms of life news for me, though, I guess I'm starting to rewatch Blacklist with ToXc, and if you guys have ever watched Blacklist like to completion, I'm not going to give any spoilers because it's uh, probably a top two, top three, even top one show for me. I would personally argue top one, but um, I'm rewatching it and I'm seeing little hints of things that sort of align with a lot of fan theories, I guess. Because again, if you know anything about the show, there's a lot of things that are left up in the air for debate, for interpretation, but a lot of things are looking more towards one fan theory. But you know, I will say the first, I think it's like first 7 or 8 seasons were absolutely incredible. The hook, the pull, the misdirects, all that stuff was incredible. But then it sort of went down and then they sort of tried to redeem it. But I think the reason why they had to end the show is because there was no redeeming it the way it went. And um, if you guys watch it, you guys will know what I mean when I say that. But because I've been rewatching it, it sort of brought the I guess the advice for the week, and it's basically be unapologetically yourself. Don't mask yourself. Don't put on a mask to impress a broken world. And that's really what I got from rewatching Blacklist. Too many people either pretend or try to lie or try to be something that they're not. And there's no point in doing that. The world is a messed up place. It's a broken place. And there's no reason to try and lie and cheat and steal and do things and say things and be things for a world that, no offense, but it's not something that you should try to impress. You know, everyone wants to be popular, everyone wants to be liked, everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants to be famous. Don't be famous for a world that and and there's really no other way to put this, I guess, as kind of really awful, you know? I hate to put it like that because I mean there is good in the world, but there's way too much nonsense and BS filled in it. And, I think we need more original people in the world. There's too many frauds, there's too many fakes. We need more original people. More people telling the truth, more people advocating for the truth, more people being themselves. But that's basically what I got from rewatching Blacklist. And if anybody wants to watch it, I do highly recommend it. It's I think 10 seasons and you'll fall in love with it right off the bat. Love the show, like absolutely love the show. Um Personally, I would say I would argue it's probably my top one, but it could be debatable depending on how I'm feeling. I do also love the TV show Lucifer. That's a really really fun one. Tom Ellis did a stand up job with that, and if anybody needs any more reason to watch Blacklist, the guy James Spader who did the voice of Ultron and Marvel is the main character for Blacklist. So uh, any pull that would be it. Um, but there are a lot of TV shows that I do love to watch. But that's well, you'll learn a lot of life lessons from Blacklist. That's for sure. So if I end up getting quotes or advice from Blacklist for the next few Toxic Talks, don't mind me. Just rewatching it. But that is all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys want to chit chat? I have no problem making Toxic Talks just a place to interact with me. That is a great, great solution. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. This was a very, very interesting week for me, and I hope you guys can see that. But that's all I have. So I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.